So WrestleMania Night 1 has finished, and for me, I thought it was a bit underwhelming. And look, a two-night WrestleMania is always not going to probably hit as well as a one-night WrestleMania. I don't know, it's probably my own personal opinion. But I just felt like there was parts of this that were completely flat, and then we get to the main event, and the main event just kicked ass. It literally did. But let's go through, and I'll give you my thoughts, and share your thoughts in the comments, and we'll go from there. We'll start with Gunther versus Jey Uso for the world title. I thought this was a good match. Could it have been better? 100%. I thought we'd get more of an aggressive Jey Uso, considering what he did to his brother Jimmy. Live in London, I was there for when he bludgeoned Jimmy. I thought that it'd go in a different direction. We wouldn't even see a lockup. We would just see Jey coming out and fighting and absolutely want to whoop Gunter's you-know-what. But we didn't see that. It was just a normal match. And then Jey Uso made Gunter tap out. And I think this is where it's divided the community. They were divided anyway because they were so annoyed about Jey Uso being in this match. Look, I loved the fact that Jey Uso was in this match. This has been a 4-year-long story from the days of the Bloodline in the Thunderdome with him and Roman all the way to now. It's an incredible story that we've told. And yeah, I get it. It can't always be great, but this was decent. Now, Gunter tapping out. He's only tapped out once before to Ilya Dragunov. And it seems like the chokehold he put Gunter in is his kryptonite. Because he likes to tap out very quickly and easily. He doesn't, struggle. He doesn't try and pass out. He just taps out. There's two ways to look at this. Jey Uso was the one that kept being trapped in this chokehold time after time after time. And now he used that move to beat Gunter to become the new world champion. Look, I don't have an issue with this at all. I don't have an issue with Jey winning. I don't have an issue with Jey being the world champion. I actually don't have an issue with Gunter tapping out, to be honest with you. Maybe he tapped out because you know what? I don't want to pass out here, so I'm just going to tap. And that's what happened. And look. I'm happy. Jey Uso has achieved what was a dream for him, and probably a dream that he'd never thought he'd achieve because he was a tag team wrestler. And now we've got a new world heavyweight champion in Jey Uso. Next up, we had the New Day, Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston versus the War Raiders, and this is a good match again. Standard tag team wrestling match. Not as much cheating from the New Day as I expected. I expected a lot more cheating, considering the whole story arc here of them turning on Big E and cheating their way to get to this match here at WrestleMania. But it was a standard tag team match, and I really enjoyed seeing the New Day win their 13th, I believe, tag team title, and which is really, really cool. We've took the New Day, we turned them heel, and we're going even further now. I thought that maybe they wouldn't pick up the belts and would have Big E come out and cost them. Look, maybe Big E generally can't wrestle anymore, but in my head, I'm like, oh, what if Big E can still go? Maybe this is leading to Big E some way. I don't know. I'm holding out hope that E can return in the future. Never say never, they say in pro wrestling. So hopefully we will see E. But hey, seeing the New Day win again at WrestleMania, hey, gets a W from me. I'm 100% for this. And then at this point, we've got Jade Cargill versus Naomi. Jade Cargill had a fancy entrance from a famous, I believe, American news weather reporter. I thought it was hilarious, though people online think it was stupid. Well, guess I like stupid stuff. But I thought it was absolutely hilarious. Naomi's got some new music, had a really kick-ass entrance as well. And these two had a really good wrestling match. Really good, hard-hitting wrestling match. And, one of the standout moments is that end where she picked her up for the electric chair and did that twisting powerbomb thing, then into the Jaded. Man, these two really tore the house down. I remember tweeting this time that these two had the match of the night so far. And I still think behind the main event, they still had one of the matches of the night, along with probably maybe the US title. But Jade Cargill and Naomi absolutely smashed it. They had a good story build into this, and wow, yeah, they just tore the house down. I really enjoyed watching Naomi versus Jade Cargill. And normally I wouldn't be interested. I didn't have much expectations going into this match, but my gosh, did those two just tear the house down. And I thought they did a fantastic job. So hats off to Jade and Naomi for that match. And then we had the United States Championship match between LA Knight, and Jacob Fatu. Now, I think everyone expected Jacob Fatu to come out with the W here. No disrespect to LA Knight. Love LA Knight. I think he's fantastic. But ain't nobody beating Jacob Fatu probably ever in the existence of the world. And Yeah, that exactly happened. He pretty much bulldozed through LA Knight. And there's this one massive moment I need to talk about, which was the mid-air BFT. And this looked amazing. Shout out to LA Knight, yeah, for managed to capture this exact moment, because to catch someone out of mid-air from a moonsault into like a cutter is insane. Like, the skill to do that was great. These two absolutely worked so well together. And, for match of the night, if it wasn't for the main event, it would go to either this US title match or the Jade Cargill and Naomi match. But these two tore the house down. There were so many good moments in this, including that mid-air BFT, which had me at the edge of my seat thinking that maybe LA Knight would defeat Jacob Fatu. But that didn't happen, obviously. Jacob Fatu walked out, your new United States champion. He even had Haku at ringside who jumped the barrier to celebrate. And that was a great moment too. And now I don't expect Jacob Fatu to ever lose this belt. He'll probably retire with his championship because nobody's beaten Jacob Fatu ever. And then we had El Grande Americano, who unfortunately wasn't taking on Rey Mysterio, but was taking on Rey Fenix. Wow. Can we just say that is incredible that Rey Fenix has been in the company 2 weeks. And I've seen so much backlash online being like, I can't believe he lost his match against El Grande Americano. Listen here. Rey Fenix debuted 2 weeks ago and is now in a WrestleMania match. There are so many superstars in pro wrestling, in WWE alone, that have never had a WrestleMania match. But my gosh, he has got this match because of an unfortunate injury to Rey Mysterio. And what a moment that is you see how emotional, Rey Fenix was when he had his debut match on SmackDown. Imagine being told 2 weeks later, probably last minute, being like, hey man, we want you to go wrestle on the grandest stage of them all at WrestleMania against El Grande Americano, not Chad Gable. I don't want to hear the Chad Gable. El Grande Americano, and you're going to have a banger of a match. And they had a banger of a match, to be honest with you. I really enjoyed seeing that. And El Grande Americano doing a insane 450 senton, which, I couldn't believe. I don't even know I shared that clip online, but it was insane. These two had a very good match, and I really enjoyed it. And El Grande Americano had some fancy entrance, which made me laugh because, again, it angered people online. And I'm starting to think that the online wrestling community doesn't really exist, because what I hear from the crowd is different to what we hear on Twitter. Like, honestly. But, these two had a great match. I'm so happy for Rey Fenix. But yes, El Grande Americano got the win after he apparently, I don't remember this, I don't remember no metal plate going behind his mask. I think he just beat him with a solid headbutt, which I think he did. There was no metal plate. I don't hear you in the comments. Metal plate? I didn't see that. Next up was the Women's Championship match, the WWE Women's Championship match between Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair. Tiffany had an amazing Barbie-style entrance, which we've not probably seen her little Barbie entrance since the NXT days. So getting to see that entrance was amazing, coming out of the Barbie Dreamhouse thing. Yeah, really cool. Really enjoyed that. Now, the match itself, I don't know. There's two ways to look at this. It was a hard-hitting match because, you clearly saw the welts on Tiffany's face. You saw the mouth being busted on Tiffany. They were hitting each other hard. There is no denying that. However, in my opinion, the match was sloppy. Now, I don't know who... Listen, pro wrestling is hard. I have to look at it from that perspective as well. I do pro wrestling myself. Pro wrestling is difficult, but I couldn't help being taken out of the moment many times because I don't know if it was lack of communication, whether it's just these two can't work together, whether it was Charlotte sandbagging. I've seen moments where I think like Charlotte was sandbagging, but moments like the natural selection or even the supernatural selection didn't really hit. I'm happy Tiffany Stratton won the match. Believe me, I do not want Charlotte Flair to win at all. So I'm happy Tiffany beat her. So good. But I don't know, something was missing. Like the hard hitting aspect, yeah, great. I'm all for that. They're like the Sheamus Drew McIntyre matches where they absolutely smack the what out of each other. But this one here, it just didn't hit for me. Though I am happy Tiffany retained. Like generally, believe me, I'm very happy Tiffany retained. And maybe we'll see a match in the future between these two. And maybe then they can click and have a really great match. But for me, I don't know. I didn't like it. And then we get to the main event of night one, the triple threat match between Roman Reigns, CM Punk, and Seth Rollins. And this match was worthy of the main event spot. It was very good. And it wasn't until this match where it felt probably like, oh yeah, okay, we're at WrestleMania now, which is a bit of a shame because WrestleMania Night 1 was definitely not as good as I think it could have been. Or on paper, Night 2 looks better. This triple threat match hit hard. There was great spots. There was great wrestling action. They took the things out. They took the things in ringside. They took the things around the crowd. They used weapons. There were table spots. They teased like the Shield powerbomb. The new announce tables actually got broke, I think, for the first time, which was great. You know, both Roman slammed Punk and Seth Rollins straight through it. Both of the announce tables, which was really cool. And look, they work so well together, these three. And it's hard to think, like, I mean, these three, I don't know whether it's storyline anymore. I don't know if it's real, but obviously they hate each other. And that showed in this match because they want to absolutely beat the piss out of each other, which was so good. Honestly, I really enjoyed this match. I thought it was really good and definitely deserving of the main event spot, even though I argued that maybe Jay should have got the main event spot. But hey ho, these three tore the house down. And then we have to talk about the ending because the last 4 minutes of this match had you feeling things. And wrestling is about feels and how you feel about certain things. And oh my gosh, Paul Heyman, my friend, you made me feel many things. Because the end sequence, Paul Heyman's got this steel chair, and Paul Heyman throughout this has been very conflicted. You can see him on the outside of the ring, feeling many different things. Don't want to do this, don't want to do that. Every time Roman got pinned, every time Roman got hit, every time Punk got pinned, every time Punk got hit, Paul Heyman is freaking out at ringside. And it gets to the moment where all three men are down, and then Paul Heyman has got a steel chair, and he is so torn. And then he slides the chair in to Seth Rollins. Not Seth Rollins. He slides the chair into CM Punk. And CM Punk is like, oh yeah. But Roman Reigns, the heartbreak in his face is like, oh my gosh. My tribal chief, my wise man, has gone. And he's in the ring. He's trying to pick up CM Punk. And then you can see it coming. Paul Heyman drops to his knees and a whack. Right in the nether regions. Oh my gosh. My facial reaction, everyone's facial reaction. Roman Reigns is smiling. He's got the brightest white teeth in the world, and he is smiling so much. And then he gives the chair to Roman Reigns, and Roman starts absolutely beating the piss out of CM Punk with this chair, and it is great. But then Paul Heyman is pointing to Seth, being like, "Look, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, he's about to give him the steel chair in the back, revenge for last year's WrestleMania." But then you see Paul Heyman standing a little bit too close to Roman Reigns, and you're like, oh no. And then he drops to his knees. Shwam! Right in the nether regions of the tribal chief. The gasp from the audience, the gasp from me. And my gosh, you're feeling things, and you just realized that he is aligning himself with Seth Rollins. He hands the chair to Seth. Seth does the back shot, sounds weird out of context, to Roman Reigns with the chair, 10 years apart, stomps him, gets the pin, 1, 2, 3. They walk out side by side, they stand at the top of the ramp, 10 years apart again. The heist of the century was 10 years ago, where Roman stole the and Seth stole the championship, stood at the top of the ramp at the main event. 10 years later, again, Roman's been screwed by Seth. 10 years later, 10 whole years. My gosh, what a moment. It definitely saved the pay-per-view because WrestleMania Night 1 was quite flat. But this, oh my gosh, well done to them because they really smashed this. And it definitely made you feel things down in your loins. That triple threat match saved the pay-per-view, definitely, 100%. It was very good. And if you predicted it, which I did, just for the record, I've been saying for weeks that he's going to turn on them both, then great. If you didn't, then even better. Then you were just as surprised as 61,000 people as Shawn Michaels showed off. Yeah, very good. Excited for night 2. Let me know what you think in the comments below. How did you feel about night 1? Did you enjoy it? If you did, if you enjoyed the whole pay-per-view, that's great for you. I didn't. Thought it was not the greatest WrestleMania, but it was still good. And I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye now.